I don't know if you can tell if that... Yeah, there it goes. Hello, guys. Those of you who have seen my previous messages may recognize me as a Sean from DZX-17052. What is it? Well, the alternate 705.2.1. Anyway, I come with great news. My tribe, the army of the Great Northern Elephant, has been successful in our war against the Great Separatist Alliance. Thanks to a variety of supplies from this dimension, which I have gathered, such as some flour, provisions, and some Sharpies, which we sold to them for a considerable amount of money. The army of the Great Northern Elephant has been successful against the Separatist forces. I record this from this dimension because we have recently perfected actual dimensional travel. Granted, it's still illegal for anyone other than military personnel to use for reasons you'd probably not know. You know, you wouldn't want terrorists from our dimension coming over and breaking stuff and other thing, would you? I figured it isn't as much. Anyway, I've traveled here to recently just say hello to my alternate universe counterpart and thank him for the help that he has given me and the publicity that he has received, and the publicity that our dimension has received involving our struggle against the Separatist forces. But the army of the Great Northern Elephant has succeeded. We've written new laws, created an actual functional government, even turned the White House back into an actual governmental building as opposed to an old coal bin, which is basically what it was turned into. I mean, where I come from, the only power source left is pretty much coal. You know, so all the nuclear smoke in the air blacks out the sun. There's not enough shallow ground left to get geothermal power. And with most of the waterways being mostly dried up, there isn't a whole lot for hydroelectric power left. So, coal power is pretty much the future. Until we develop something like, say, cosmic ray energy. That would be pretty cool. But anyway, I'm just making this message to say that my faction, the Great Northern Elephant, has been successful. And as for this, I did actually lose my eye in the war. This is actually just a little patch right here. It really stings like hell, you know. But it looks dang cool. Anyway, I've just finished talking to my Prime Reality counterpart to thank him for the message, thank him for all the help he's got, and kind of come around to look around this place. It's nice and quiet out here. Here, it's relaxing, and there's no need for air raid sirens. Plus, there's a pool filled with actually chlorinated water. See, where I come from, most of the pools are dried up because there's barely any water left. The nukes dried it all up, so whatever water is left is with private reserves. Also, I chose this particular time to come back because by now, my alternate universe counterpart has actually... has actually accepted the fact that the barriers between dimensions can actually be traveled carefully. But that's not a whole lot I have to say. And here's ZZ. In my reality, he actually lost a leg. So we had this little peg leg thing for her. She's even more of a pirate puppy in my dimension than she is in this one. Wait a minute, is that... Hey, the snail tank. Huh. Prime Reality Sean told me about this. I mean, back where I come from, this is pretty much... These fish tanks are pretty much just to cook, just to store food in. Yeah. Let's see. Sorry, I'm just really fascinated to see this place. It's so peaceful compared to all the world. I mean, most living areas like this in my place would be underground. Say, built in an old basement, like in the movie Terminator, where they had all those underground tunnels and stuff. Okay, and still, it weirds me out to see exactly how different the Earth is designated in this dimension as it is in mine. I mean, where I come from, the United States is just all one sector, split down the middle by two factions. Only now we should probably change that map, because the Great Northern Elephant, the army of the Great Northern Elephant has succeeded, so we should probably just paint the whole thing. Just paint the whole thing with a big elephant picture over it. You know, the other tribe leaders surrendered, they've all been stuck in military prisons, and basically any separatist forces left have either disbanded or just ran away. It was a long, hard-fought battle, but it was worth it. Let's see. Wait a minute, is that... Yeah, there's actually oceans on this planet. Weird. It's just so weird. I'm not used to seeing oceans on the Earth. Yeah, because back where I come from, most of the oceans have dried up. They're pretty much giant beds of salt. Except for the little areas like lakes and things. Most fish species are dead, except for a few, which we've recently found out how to farm. So to anyone who is watching this, this is a Sean from DZX-17052.1, and if you are watching this, then you are luckier than we are. But we can be more like you. And who knows? Maybe someday we can get our space program going again. It used to be basically just a program for launching missiles to other universes. But we could actually build up some exploration again. We could even make it to Mars. I mean, back in this time period, it's too expensive, but now that we own pretty much half the land on Earth, including all the United States, we can pretty much afford it now. You know, it could actually be like Star Trek, where they end up, except more realistic, because in that one they don't even use money. So maybe someday you'll see me in a space suit with the eye patch and a big beard, kind of like, say, Riker on Star Trek Next Generation. If we actually get the funding for it. It's hard to say. Between rebuilding that and fixing up the military and various other things, it's going to be kind of expensive. But I'm pretty confident we'd actually build the whole thing up. We could even make it to Pluto. So, I'd like to thank all you viewers who have watched this series from the beginning, and will stick around to see whatever comes in the future. This is Sean from DZX-17052.1, and if you were watching this, then there is hope. Signing off.